Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Jai Shri Ram. Welcome back to the Clay Studio. This is our MahaShivaratri special video where I share a little bit of tips and tricks on how do you manage a small little puja for Shivji, and also some tips and tricks around the lifestyle that we have outside of India, what kind of workarounds that we could do to make sure that our Mahashivaratri is so much effective and enlightening as it would be if we were sitting in a similar religious location in India. So let's get on with today's points, starting with the Jāgraṇ. The whole night of Mahashivaratri is a night where you are having your spine erect as much as possible, seated and possibly meditating, contemplating and such. This is definitely possible now with the technology. There are so many apps that help you do that. There are live telecasts from India that happen around this time. So that is a very easier option to get on with because you see the crowd, there is music, there is dance, there's so many elements to it that keep you motivated until such time, what time? The sunrise according to the time zone in India. But unfortunately, if we are living in any part of the USA or like me in Denmark, Europe, or Scandinavia, then the time zones are very different, which means we are in the middle of the night, middle of our prayer, middle of the meditation, when everything closes down in the channels um, from India. But we need to continue our Jāgraṇ. That's a very important thing because the whole effect of the whole energy that we are trying to build materializes and consummates, if I may say so, very well if we can manage to do the Jāgraṇ until the sunrise of our own country. So take a look at the local timeline when the sunrise happens and make sure that you are able to sit through the whole period. Of course, it's going to be even more difficult when you see that all the channels are, shutting down, the live telecasts are shutting down, but your Jāgraṇ is only in the middle. You need to continue. There are some points that you can take care of. Either you can continue to listen to certain things again, repeatedly, watching it again one more time, or listening to, for example, Rudram, Ekadasha Rudram, the 11 times of Rudram. Even that goes on for 3.5 hours or so if you start playing it, or read Shiva Puranam, and that's, I think, available in many languages now. Read that or listen to it. There are audiobooks to listen to. So you can continue with the Jāgraṇ until the time it is sunrise in your own country, wherever you are placed. There are few other things that I would definitely suggest because I know that there are many young students following me, and I do understand that you might not have the facility in your dormitory or college, wherever you are put up. So the best thing that you could do as students, is to all think of reading the book or reading the subject that is very difficult for you, sitting down with it, or even very interesting for you. Take it up as a challenge or take it up as something that you would love to do, to read on a particular chapter. Sit down, not from the point of view of oh, I need to get 100% in an examination, or I need to do best in interview or something like that. Just think of being your best in that particular subject or particular chapter that you are trying to read that moment. Because in that moment, when your spine is erect and you are contemplating on the energy, It's great that if you can say a shloka or whatever you know, but if you do not know anything and even the music that you are trying to listen to is not keeping you moving, motivated, the best way to continue the Jāgraṇ is also to think of your own karma as a student. A job as a student for you is to learn, study, understand deeply into the subject. So take that particular chapter and say that in the next 3-4 hours that the Jāgraṇ is going to continue. Shivaji is going to be my guru and he will guide me through every single sentence in that chapter. I would like to understand it, contemplate on it so deeply that I can explain it to anyone in the next 4 hours also. So give that also an attempt. For those who are working, don't get on to your laptops and get started with the emails and such. The best way again will be, of course, your karma is your job, but contemplate on the subject of your job. Try to understand certain concepts about it. Take a new concept to read on and sit with that also. So even that could be effective if you cannot read or recite any sloka or such. So that's also something that you can continue through. So think of doing something effective, useful, even creative. Like, if you want to write a poem, you want to sit together and concentrate, try to do that. Paint, draw, stitch something, whatever you feel you are very comfortable doing with. Give it your best in that 4 hours as a part of meditation. So you are offering as a prayer your own karma, your own duty as a prayer. That is also another level of thinking about continuing the Jāgraṇ, especially when you are bound by the space, location where you are, and the countries where you are. Maybe you're not able to get that energy of a group activity or something like that. So think of that, but try to continue the Jāgraṇ. So this is about the Jāgraṇ and the importance of staying up until your sunrise. So keeping that in mind, let's move on to the next topic. This is something I have been asked many times in from my previous videos. People do see this small little Shivalingas. I do have a small murti of Shiva which I will use now for the Abhishekam, the prayer and such. But every week on a Sunday, I make a new Mrithikā Linga, a clay linga, and I settle it down for a prayer. And on Monday morning, I do the Mangala HAARAThi for that Shivalinga. And likewise, I do have many Shivalingas here. There is another level of energy in making your own small little Shivalinga. This doesn't take much time to do also, and what I have done, I can take one here to show you. It's handmade, and what you can think of as a clay that you can find in places like Herald Newberg or any other um, departmental store where you can find that clay even children play with, for example. And that is a clay that I have used, and I've made it into 1 cup sort of a thing, and another thin cup of a thing I make and put it on the top, and I merge that clay together to make this shape, and it has to have an opening on the side. That's the whole thing. And it doesn't take much time to do. Usually it takes me 10-15 minutes to make one. Praying to your own handmade Shivalinga is a very good aspect to try. And this is also keeping in mind if you are a student and if you are not having all the facilities, a very simple store-bought clay. Please do check whether it has any chemicals or such. By default, the ones that are certified for children to be able to play with are safe, but do check just for any chemicals and make a simple Shivalinga to pray with. That is also something you can think of in case you're living in a dormitory or a space where you don't have the facility to keep a big murti or any other things, think of that as well. Mrithikā Linga. I'm going to go a little more deeper into this because who makes the Mrithikā Linga? Who has made the Mrithikā Linga? There are a couple of stories that I am going to share with you today. Two great women made Mrithikā Lingas. The first one is Ma Kaikasi. Kaikasi is Ravana's mother, and she used to make linga, or she used to pray and get lingas every day for her prayer. So every single day her prayer starts with making one, or getting a shaligram or something like that, something natural, and praying with it 365 days. That's how she does. In case she doesn't get one, she makes a Mrithikā Linga. This is the kind of prayer that she has been doing. Of course, you may ask, okay, her son is Ravana, he is a negative personality and such, but let's not delve deep into who Ravana is. Remember, Ravana is also a favorite of Lord Shiva. Whatever penance he did, he received all the virtues, all the powers that he had asked for through Lord Shiva. How did he use the powers is another question of debate. So it's up to you to think of the positive aspects around the whole prayer. So Kaikasi, Mother Kaikasi, has done such lingas to pray on an everyday basis. If not every day, at least once in a while you can make that. And it also benefits you in a way, because if you are not able to manage doing the prayer in a dormitory or any other restricted space, it can be dissolved in water or in any other waterway naturally, without distracting anything, disturbing anything. So that's also possible for you. Keeping that in mind, I would definitely suggest trying the Mrithikā Linga for the prayer if you do not have many things. Who is the other woman who made a Mrithikā Linga? In the same story of Ramayana, Lady Sita made Mrithikā Linga. When everything was done, all the war between Ravana and Rama was all done, and they were about to leave, the final procedure that they were doing was also a puja, and for that they needed a Atma Linga. And for that Atma Linga, Hanumanji was sent to Kailasha to get the Atma Linga of Shivji. But while on his way, time was running out. So as a backup plan, Lady Sita Devi, made a Mrithikā Linga. And Ramji and Sita Devi, they prayed to it. Of course, once Maruti or Hanumanji arrived with the Atma Linga, that was also established and prayed to. So, two women again. Why? I wanted to stress that. Frequently asked question, can women make it? Well, the two women that I know made the Mrithikā Linga. So I think that is an answer to this question. Yes, women can make this. Around women, there is also another question. Okay, we are going through our periods, menstrual cycle. Can we sit and do the Jāgraṇ? Can we pray, yes or no? There are very different approaches to it, depending upon the cultures as well. Traditionally, in my culture, we would not pray if I were menstruating. We would not pray, but I would sit through that period, just watch something on television. Maybe I will not do all this, never touch all these things. I would just sit through, because it's always a positive energy to sit through the whole Jāgraṇ period, the whole night. I will sit through without touching anything, just watching a television, or watching television does not necessarily mean that you are sitting on Netflix or something. Remember, watching something related to Shivji, something like that, and I would sit through like that. This is my take on it. But I have also heard that some of the pandits do say it is okay depending upon the culture. So my suggestion will be, try to follow what is advised by your own guru or in your family culture and such. That is the best, I would say. If personally, I will sit slightly away, not to create anything, but still I will sit through the whole night. This is my take on it. Now, again, these questions I try to answer. I cannot answer every week on the things that I use, but when I make some special videos like this, yes, we can discuss the materials that I use, what I'm going to do right away. So that's going to be our next topic, materials used. So let's look at what we have. I'm going to move the camera around so that you can see things slightly at a closer detail. So we have, what all do we have here? For traditionally, I use the ash here, and there is kumkum, there is sandal, there is turmeric. I also have another type of kumkum that is used for Hanumanji. I have this to place, and I usually have some akshata also around. Akshata is rice mixed a little bit with clarified butter or ghee, and that's in the cup over there. So I use that to sprinkle as a part of the prayer, and this is something traditionally I do. I think you might have seen in many of my videos. But for today's special Mahashivaratri, he needs to have a nice bath, and we are going to have many things around. So I will just take you through. I have some water here. In preferred always, we always prefer anything brass or copper. The conduct of the energy that you bring around is definitely very good when you have water. If you can manage, that's good. If you cannot, you use something clean, any clean vessel, and have some water. Water is the base that we are going to use for today's Abhishekam. Is almost like giving him a bath. So we're going to give him a bath with water. I have milk. Sandal I have mixed into a sandal water here. I have also rose water. Then I have honey here. I don't know if it is showing. Yes, I have honey here. So that's all I have here. If you can have yogurt or curd, that is also good. I did not manage to get that. Flowers will also be nice. Again, the same problem depending upon the weather. If it is fresh flowers, you can manage, it's good. Otherwise, leave it. Just think of whatever you can source locally easily. And to be honest, for today's session, whatever I'm going to do as Abhishekam, I'm doing it with the things that I have. And if you do not have many of the things, just think of only the water. Only water Abhishekam will be good enough. And of course, after the Abhishekam is done, then we'll have some camphor here for the Harati. And I do have some incense sticks also here for the DHUPAM. So these are the basic things I have. Remember, the most important thing is your presence for the whole prayer. So these things, the material things, definitely will help in the process, doing it nicely. If you cannot manage, it's not a showstopper. It should never be a showstopper. I do have another vessel here, bowl here, where I I have already done one puja. This is my second for tonight. So whatever I use, after using the water, I can throw it around here. This water, whatever has been used for the Abhishekam, can be reused. It's got the same thing, the water, sandal paste or milk and such. This can be reused. How can you reuse this? Remember, it can be always used to water the plants. If you have plants nearby around, you can always use that. Sprinkle little bit around in the space for some positivity if you can. But if you are worried about, again, if you are worried about the wooden floor or something, it will fall off, then it's better that you take it outside and pour it around the plants nearby. Never waste it, let them be reused. So that's the whole thing about the materials used. I think I have covered. I also have a kalasham that I have made here. This kalasham I made almost 5 days ago, and it's been here. Coconut is one of the special fruits that we use always, and to make a kalasham, again, brass or copper will be a great thing to use. Water inside and a tiny bit of all these elements go inside the water. Then I close it with the coconut. If you can get leaves, mango leaves, or even beetle leaves, it will be great. Again, if you cannot source this, don't worry about it. It's not a showstopper. Whatever you have, whatever is available, Bholenath is always happy that you are present first in front of him to do a prayer. So that's more important than all these elements. Whatever you have, place them. If you do not have, that's not a problem. We are going to get started right away with our prayer today. And this is again the way that I will simply think of a prayer. I do not have a elaborate process. Today's process I'm going to use the basic invoking that I will do. First we invoke Ganapathi, the remover of all obstacles. So the simple thing you can say is Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Going to say one more prayer. If you know this, you can say it along. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vighnopashantaye. That was a prayer for the first Guru, Ganapathi. Now, the next Guru, J, will be the Guru himself, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakchat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Then I pray to my Kula Devam. In case you know who your Kula Devam is, you can do your own prayer to that. Om Harihara Putraya Putra Labhaya Satru Nasagaya Madagaja Vahanaya Bhutanadaya Sorimutta Ayyanar Swamiye Namaha. Okay, so now we are ready to start the puja itself. First thing we will do is the water. I'm going to start playing the Ekadasha Rudram. Then the milk. Water again. Dashveshwaraya Pakaya Tripurantakaaya Mahavikalaya Kaladirudraya Akantaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Sriman Mahadevaya Namaha Namo Hiranyavahave Nagye Dishantapadaye Namo Namo Vrukshebhyo Harikeshebhyo Pashunam Padaye Namo Namah Saspindara. If you have yogurt, you can do the yogurt first. I do not have, so I am going there. Honey. Sandal water. Rudraya cha namah Sarvaya cha Pashupadaye cha namo Nilagrivaye cha Sivanandalahari cha namah Tapardine cha Vyuktakeshaya cha namah Vibhuti or the ash. Turmeric. You can make a paste out of it depending upon the size of your statue and such. I have a small little one, so I'm doing it this way. Kumkum. I had one more question around, whether to use kumkum on Shiva or not. Yes, you can. Remember, he is also Ardhanarishwarar. Half of him is the woman, Shakti Devi. So yes, we can use kumkum. Rose water. You want to take it, Amma? You can even continue doing the Abhishekam throughout, only with water if you want. Once you are done, you have to give a Tripundra, meaning, the basma or the vibhuti has to be placed with 3 fingers on the forehead, but it's a very tiny statue that I have, so I'm going to do it like this. I prefer keeping a little bit of sandal also, and that's well. Okay. Now for the dhupam. Harati. May the blessings of Lord Shiva be with you. The energy, the positive energy come along with you. I am going to conclude with a small prayer. And this is something I am also learning. I am learning Sivanandalahari from one of my gurus, Gokulji, and I have learnt 10 slokas. So I am going to do that as a prayer to conclude. Kalabhyam chudalankruta Shashikalabhyam nijatapaha Falabhyam bhakteshu Prakatita falabhyam bhavatu me Shivabhyam astoka Tribhuvana Shivabhyam Hridi punaha Bhavavyam anandaspurad Anubhavavyam nadiriyam गलन्दी शम्भो त्वच्चरितसरितः किल्बिषरजो दलन्ती धीकुल्या शरणिषु पठन्ति विजयताम् दिशन्ति संसारभ्रमण परितापोपशमनम् वसन्ति मच्चेतो हृदभुवि शिवानन्दलहरी त्रैवेद्यं हृद्यं त्रिपुरहरमाद्यं त्रिनयनं जठाभारोदारं चलदुरगहारं मृगधरं महादेवं देवं मयि सदयभावं पशुपतिं चिदालम्बं साम्बं शिवमतिविडम्बं हृदि भजे सहस्रं वर्तन्ते जगति विबुधाः क्षुद्रफलदा न मन्ये स्वप्ने वा तदनुसरणं तत्कृतफलम् हरिब्रह्मादीनामपि निकटभाजामसुलभम् चिरं याचे शम्भो शिव तव पदाम्बोजभजनम् स्मृतौ शास्त्रे वैद्ये शकुनकविता गाणफणितौ पुराणे मन्त्रे वा स्तुतिनटनहास्येष्वचतुरः कथं राज्ञां प्रीतिर्भवति मयि कोऽहं पशुपते पशुं मां सर्वज्ञ प्रतितकृपया पालय विभो घटो वा मृत्पिण्डोऽप्यनुरपि च धूमो निरचलः पटो वा तन्तुर्वा परिहरति किं घोरशमनम् वृथाकण्ठक्षोभं वहसि तरसा तर्कवचसा पदाम्भोजं शम्भोर्भज परमसौख्यं वृजसुधीः मनस्ते पादाब्जे निवसतु वचः स्तोत्रफणितौ करौ चाभ्यर्चायां श्रुतिरपि कथा कर्णनविधौ तव ध्याने बुद्धिर्नयनयुगलं मूर्तिविभवे परग्रन्थान् गैर्वा परमशिव जाने परमतः यथा बुद्धिशुक्तो रजतमिति काशास्मणिमणिः जले पैष्टे क्षीरं भवति मृगतृष्णौ सुसलिलम् तथा देवभ्रान्त्या भजति भवदन्यं जटजनो महादेवेशं त्वां मनसि च नमत्वा पशुपते गभीरे कासारे विसति विजने घोरविपिने विशाले शैले च भ्रमति कुसुमार्तं जडमती समर्पैक्यं चेत् सरसिजमुमानाथ भवते सुखेनावस्थातुं जन इह न जानाति किमहो नरत्वं देवत्वं नगवनमृगत्वम् असकता पशुत्वं कीटत्वं भवतु विगतवादिजननम् सदा त्वत्पादाब्ज स्मरण परमानन्दलहरी विहाराक्षात्सक्तं चेत् हृदयमिह किं तेन विपुषा। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ नाम नाम Wishing you all the positive energy on this Mahashivaratri. Thank you.